my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 86 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is, oh snap, Ginger, Breader makes some cookies. Dope. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think that they could help. With that being said, let's talk about what we're doing today, if you couldn't figure it out. Okay, so daily inspirations, of course. I'm going to have to read them from my phone because I forgot to write them down all week. Make changes happen. And cookie time. And if you couldn't tell, we're making gingerbread cookie dough. Now, I'm warning you now that we're not cooking them. I babysit. I talked about this last time. I don't know. Anyway, and I like to keep them busy with something fun and then maybe educational. And if you can sneak that in while you're having fun, hello. So what I decided to do was I was going to make the dough here and then bring it to the kids so that we could roll it out and we could make it, decorate them, use different cookie cutters, things like that. But I also thought they could, count how many cookies or how many different designs they're putting on there, talk about the different colors and things like that. So anywho, and in the process, in the background here, I'll be basting a turkey. Because we went to my niece's for Thanksgiving and we got a good amount of leftovers, but I mean, they had them on sale, so hello. Okay, so we're making gingerbread cookies. Dough. Gingerbread cookie dough. Alright, I called it gingerbread man dough. And I'm going to read you the recipe, and then I'll read you the daily inspirations. I'm all over the place already. Okay, so it's 3½ cups of flour, 2 teaspoons ginger, 1½ teaspoon cinnamon, ½ teaspoon clove, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, ½ cup of butter, 3/4 cup of sugar, asterisk, 1 large egg, asterisk, 3/4 of a cup molasses, 2 teaspoons of orange zest, asterisk, 1 tablespoon of ACV, which is apple cider vinegar, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I'm going to tell you this recipe is a little different in that I've combined 2 different gingerbread recipes together. Okay, so do it that way you will. So we're mixing the sugar and the butter until combined, and then we're adding the molasses, the vinegar, and the vanilla, and mixing till fully combined. And then you're mixing all the dry ingredients and spices in a separate bowl until combined. And then you're mixing those 2 things together, basically, on low speed, kind of mixing it like you would over. And then it needs to refrigerate for minimum 3 hours, up to overnight. So that is why I'm doing it today, because we're making them tomorrow. And then if you're doing that, if you're letting them sit overnight, then you do need to let them rest at room temperature for about 15 minutes. We'll preheat to 350, divide dough in half, and roll out 1/2 to 1/4 inch thick on lightly floured surface. And then you're going to cut out the cookies and place them on a lined baking sheet 1 inch apart. For small cookies, it's 6 to 8. For medium, it's 8 to 10. And for large, it's 12 to 14. And then you cool them on the sheet for a few minutes, then transfer to cooling rack before decorating. But you want to let them cool completely, otherwise the frosting or whatever is going to just, melt off or what have you. Okay. And I got all kinds of fun stuff. I got sugars, I got sprinkles, I got glitter, I got all kinds of things we can use for buttons, little circular candies. I got food coloring so we could dye some frosting. I got some writing icing, and I also have this cookie icing. I think it's called icing. Yeah. It was clearance at Walmart for 50 cents. So, and I have a couple cookie cutters. I know I have a ton more, but of course, I can't find them. So, after this is all over, I'm going to run out and see what I can find. Oh, and then don't forget your rolling pin. And then, of course, you're going to need parchment paper for lining your cookie sheets. All right, so let's get started by reading our, see, I would have forgot. This is what happens to the brain. I mean, when you have fibromyalgia, but to top it off, older age. Okay, so let me get into and I'm going to read them backwards, unfortunately, because that's how they're listed in here. So for today, it is vain to say human beings ought to be satisfied with tranquility. They must have action, and they make it if they cannot find it. Charlotte Bronte. Periods of tranquility are seldom prolific of creative achievement. Mankind has to be stirred up. Alfred North Whitehead. The 28th is the real spiritual progress of the aspirant is measured by the extent to which he achieves inner peace. Swami Savananda. Savananda. Woo! Okay. Savananad. Oh. The 27th is I am sustained by the tranquility of an upright and loyal heart. Peter Stuyvesant. The 26th was humor is emotional chaos, remembered in tranquility. James Thurber. The 25th was the positive vibrations of an unregulated joy, peace, happiness, and tranquility is freedom. T.J. Hodges. The 24th, that was Thanksgiving, is all we are saying is give peace a chance. John Lennon. And then the 23rd was peace is the first thing the angels sang. John Keble. Sorry. And I think that was a week. All right. Now, let's make some cookie dough. So in this here bowl, we're going to put our 1 stick or half a cup, or wherever you want to look at it, of softened, not melted, butter. And then this is the sugars. My substitutions for the sugar was using about a 1/4 cup of brown and then half a cup of the, I think I used the cane sugar for that. And then we're just mixing that to combine, because if you overmix it, that can't be good. So we're just, this is medium high. So I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Can you tell we're in holiday mode here? I'm dressed. See, I had my husband trying to fix it, and it's not fixed. So I don't know what to do. All right, so just combine. Yeah, she's not working so good anymore. Let me get this. I got a big honking piece of butter sitting right here on the top. So I made probably 2 of the best pumpkin pies I've ever made. And that's including the fact the crust did not burn. See, it's still fine, and that's on low. Alright, and then I'm supposed to add to this the egg, the molasses, the vinegar, and the vanilla. Okay, my substitution for the egg is this beautiful, look at this beautiful chicken egg I got from my niece Caitlin. I got my second batch. She gave me some blue ones, but they were a little bit on the smaller side. I'll show you after a break what those beauties look like. But I read, because this is more like a medium, I picked the biggest one that was in there, which was probably, you know, one of the bigger mediums, I'd say, that you can substitute, for any large egg, you can substitute a medium, an extra large, or a jumbo, just one. So if you needed a large and you only have medium, just use 1 medium. If you have small eggs, though, they say use 2 to 3. I thought that was kind of interesting. So the egg goes in. You know, I should be doing these over like a bowl, because they are from chickens. Like, you know, I didn't buy them in the grocery store is what I'm saying. I don't want to have any kind of guys know what I'm saying, right? Alright, so we got the egg in there. Let me scrape down the sides because we got a good amount of the butter on there. I got to meet her chickens on Thanksgiving. They're so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And I've never pet a chicken before, so I pet a chicken. And oh my gosh, they're so soft. Okay. Then it also said to add our molasses. Now, I didn't measure this out because I feel like it's 3/4 of a cup, but I also feel like I want to challenge myself, but I also didn't want to dirty a measuring cup, so I'm going to see how close I am to being correct. I said 3/4. Yep. And as it is, I'm going to have to like scrape it out of here, so I'm not even going to put the rest of it in there. And maybe it's good that I use some of the brown sugar, because you know brown sugar is white sugar with molasses in it. So, there you go. I hope this is so exciting. I talked about it with them last week. And I was like, really? This sounds so exciting. Let's do this. So I'm really excited. I imagine if you can, yeah, the rest of it's in here. I'm not worried about it. It's just not coming out very quickly. I need to get out my little spatula. I almost tripped myself. I didn't know little kids like gingerbread, to be honest. So I was very surprised. I'm going to knock the whole kit and caboodle down. When they both said they loved it. So I hope they know what they were talking about. Because I love gingerbread. You know, I love too is just molasses cookies. I'm not sure what the difference is. I also love ginger snaps. That's kind of where the title came from. Sorry, I murdered it. Alright, I'm going to put the lid back on. I hope I can get a little bit more out. Mixing that up. Now, the reason I picked two separate recipes was because the one that I'm using had the apple cider vinegar, but did not have the spice combination I like. So, yeah. And then this is the vinegar, which I'm not sure what that's going to do. I've never put apple cider vinegar in my cookies before. Alright, and then lastly is going to be the vanilla, which one recipe had and the other one didn't. So, I could be making a big catastrophe. That's where these substitutions came from. I'm not using the orange zest. Feel free to. I just didn't have any oranges. And I wasn't about to go out. And I felt like the kids wouldn't like the orange as much, you know? So. But I could be wrong. They do like some things I didn't know kids liked, so. I can't give you an example right now. I'm not going to get mine. Alright. Okay, now I'm supposed to mix this till it's fully combined. That's what it said. Okay, just wanted to scrape off some of the sides. Okay, and then we're going to talk about make changes happen. Because, let me tell you, I know I feel like I'm talking to you. Changes need to happen, and I would rather make them happen and be good changes than not make them happen and have them be bad changes, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Does that make any sense? Okay. Done. Lesson done. No, I just like to, I don't know, be in charge of the positive as much as I possibly can. And frankly, there's so many things that you can't control. that why not make the changes you're making be positive ones. Anyway, great. Alright, I think this is combined as much as they think it's going to be. Or I think they think it's going to be. I'm going to still try and get out some more. Okay, then the next thing was to combine the, I'm going to have to baste my turkey here already. Combine the dry ingredients together, so including the spices. So I'm going to put all that. Now, the thing I avoided by using one recipe over the other was nutmeg and allspice. Nutmeg I have, but you know my feelings. And then the allspice I don't, but I also, I don't want to go out and buy spices either. So help me out here. And so I did. I found a recipe that had, oh, they also mentioned do not use blackstrap molasses. I always put my whisk back if I just whisk my flour. Don't be disturbed. Okay, so you dump that in there. I'm gonna get it mixed up. On low. So, yeah, I don't even know where I left off in the conversation. I know I was talking about changes, but I also know I was talking about the ingredients. This almost looks like peanut butter. And the substitutions I made and why I made them. But it's true too of changes we make. We have to make substitutions, right? We have to maybe not go in the direction we thought we were going in. Ooh. I think I might taste what that vinegar does, which I'm really kind of digging. I don't have all the flour in the end yet, or the seasonings, but I'll keep you posted. But when you watch things that you thought you wanted happen and they weren't what you wanted to have happen, yes, it's a setback, but it's also not the end of the world. You still got headed in that direction for a reason. Maybe you just needed to veer a little to the right or to the left, that's all. So I think as long as you keep going, you haven't failed. But once you lie down, ooh, I almost get a black cherry flavor. And give up. Does that make any sense? Oh, it's time to baste the turkey. I'm actually going to baste the turkey off camera because, I mean, you're paying for my time. You shouldn't have to watch me do that too. I'll let you see it when it's done. I almost stopped it. Alright, I'm back. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Alright, let me get this in here. So, substitute. Switch it up. Take another avenue. You know, that's the same thing I'm doing with the recipe. Just because I didn't have everything that was required in one, doesn't mean I can't fool around and play with different recipes. I mean, maybe I can't. We'll find out for sure. Usually it backfires, but we shall see if it's a little dry. Well, it's coming together. Alright. That's it. Show's over. Nothing to see here. And essentially, that is what that's all that we needed to do. Okay. It was so heavy on the paddle that it wouldn't lift up. Look at it just fall right off. It's a little bit lighter than I'm used to. I mean, I'm not upset about it. I'm gonna try a little. I like that it's a little more subtle. stickier. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. I got a nice little mess going there. Okay. Let's get this mixed up in here. You can see my dilemma. And that's adjusting. It was fine. I don't know, maybe my screw is stripped that's in there. Alright, so basically they told me to let it just chill in the bowl because it is a pretty sticky dough. And I think that's probably the main reason why. That you're just going to let it cool. You're just going to chill it out in this bowl for tomorrow, essentially. You don't have to like wrap it in plastic wrap like you do like sugar cookies. Surprisingly, the amount of butter is low, so I mean, and that, I don't know if that makes it healthier, but I'm gonna try and get this all scraped off here, but I mean, that's really it, guys. I will take pictures and I will show you the end result of our labors tomorrow. I will not be filming that, or the making of them, but I will film the end result so that we can show you some. And hopefully I'll have enough different cookie cutters. I don't really know where they went. I just don't know. Alright, so I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that I make it, I want it to end up in a cookie or in my mouth. I mean, I know you think that's the same thing, but I don't like to waste a lot on the beaters and such, unless I'm giving it to somebody to lick. But with the real chicken egg, I don't want it cooked either. I'd rather just have it cooked. I mean, I'll eat it, but okay. I am getting such a pleasant. I'm just gonna try and get it scraped more towards the middle, but I am probably just making it worse. So I think I will just cut my losses here, cover it up, and get ready to take it on a trip. It's gonna be so exciting. I love it when our recipes go like this. A lot of times it has backfired on me for one reason or another. But so yeah. Let me get my handy dandy press and seal out. And then I can talk to you a little bit more about, oh my gosh, making changes. Woo! That was close. Alright, so then what I'll do is I'll get that all put in a bag after I go get some cookie cutters. This is going to be an all-day project, so it's going to be really good. I'm really excited about it. And like I said, the more we can entertain ourselves with fun and happy and educational, and you get a treat out of it too. What the heck? Who didn't think of this sooner? All right, and she goes. Bye. All right. So I guess that was not what I wanted to do. So I guess really just the matter of talking with you about changes and what that means to you. I know there are people out there, and some of them I know, but they get in this mindset that they're like, I hate change. Change isn't good. That is where you're wrong. And that is why I wanted to talk about this today, because a lot of people think that instituted changes are hard to get through. And they are, because you're trying to incorporate everybody essentially in the world to be on the same page. And we're all different human beings. So the likelihood is that you're not going to be happy with all changes. But each change might be representing that next step, whether you like it or not. We know that growth is painful. So much so that that's why we hate it. That's why we hate change. Whether it's growing in the right or wrong direction, it is still growth of some nature. So you either grow to have something bad happen and then you develop a bad habit or what have you, or you grow and have something good happen and you learn and you move on. So that is what I essentially am trying to get out of the bad, is the lesson to grow and move on. And I thought maybe sharing that with you might help you guys to understand that growth and change, while painful, can be so much more positive if you're the one instigating the positivity of it, if that makes sense. So if you can't see the positive part of, say, a speeding ticket, or I don't know, quitting smoking, or stopping the eating of sugar. While in and of itself, those are three random different things, all opted by someone to speed, to smoke, or to eat sugar, right? We all opt to do those things. But the opting out of those things, well, while speeding doesn't seem like that big of a opt-out, because you'd just be going the speed limit, quitting smoking or quitting sugar are more addictive behaviors and feel more monumental and therefore are not good changes. But you don't know till you try. That's all I'm saying. You make the changes you want to have happen. And then everybody will change because you said so. No, I'm just kidding. Don't get like that. But I'm just saying, in general, if you want things to happen, you have to change. You do. The situation doesn't. Whether you want it to happen or not, it's still going to happen. It's just not going to happen for you. So, you got those things going for you too. Does that make any sense whatsoever? You've seen that, what's that phrase? Crap. Be the change you want to see in the world, I think is how it goes. But that works in your own little world too, you know. Granted, we all want to have big, monumental lives, or things that they've done in their lives to be monumental. But it won't just crawl on your lap and say, you know, meow or bark or, I don't know, whatever sound, or hiss if you like snakes. I was trying to think of a reptile that made noise. Which I like all those things, as well as farm animals, and I like most animals except for maybe raccoons. I don't know why. They just give me the creeps. I even didn't like mice for a while, but now I'm coming around. They're very cute. Anyway, see, I'm changing. I'm coming around. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be this quick snap. Like, everybody thinks change is like, boom, do it, now, stop. And we all know that's not true, including me, even though that's how I want it to be. Quick, snap, pop, boop, bop. It truly doesn't happen that way. And if you're not willing to participate in the change, then the change is going to be that you're still back here and everybody else is So the change is that you're now, I'm not going to say you're alone, but you might be alone in your thinking or your feelings about something. And that's not bad, necessarily a bad thing either, unless they're bad feelings or bad thinking. That got off the rails real quick. The point is, make some changes, would you? Don't be afraid. Think positive. I do that every day, and I still make a mess. But I'm happy. I am happy that I attempted something I haven't attempted before. Yeah, keep that in mind. These recipes, I've never attempted these before. They're made for the first time for you. On camera, right in front of you. So just remember, I was too scared to do this 3 years ago, and it's developed and changed, and here we are. I guess that's it. Alright guys, I think I've covered what I wanted to say. They don't have to be big steps, remember? Change can be baby steps too. Just like goals. I was almost forgetting that one. Alright guys, I guess the last thing I have to say is have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching. Bye.